Hey everyone, this is Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Boric, and this is going to be an extension of the grittiest tape as I look at the Arizona Coyotes and Colorado Avalanche game. The Coyotes obviously had a 4-2 victory on the back of Darcy Kemper. He made 49 saves on 51 shots. This dude is just a man on a mission. And there was also another absolutely remarkable stat I jotted down, and this was even before the game ended, so he made more saves. This was with a few minutes left. At that point, he had 110 saves, only 7 goals allowed, a 940 save percentage, and a 2.40 goals against. So Darcy Kemper continues to be a man on a mission. Guys that continue to look good for the Yotes are Clayton Keller and Taylor Hall. Both had an assist on the first goal to Derek Stefan, stepped up or set up nicely in front of the net, excuse me. And also on the day, everybody on the Avalanche and Mika Radin and Nathan McKinnon and all those guys, I mean, they did everything they could have done. I mean, there's nothing else you can do. You got over 50 shots on net. Kemper was just in some kind of zone. He was in a Dominic Hasek, Carey Price, Patrick Waugh, whatever you want to say, type of zone. The Yotes only had 23 shots, and they got it done. I mean, he was absolutely electric today. The Yotes defense steps up for him at times when you saw Oliver Ekman-Larsson made a few nice plays getting in to the zone. So Kemper is obviously, as that team always says, their momentum gainer, their best player. He's the guy that keeps them driving and going. And that's great to see. I love the dude as a goaltender. He's one of my favorite guys to watch. Pavel Francois, though, also, I mean, he didn't play a bad game, in my opinion. He had a goal we couldn't have saved. Derek Stefan got set up perfectly nicely in front of the net. And then he had that snipe by Brad Richardson, which was a perfect pass to Richardson. And then he was able to snipe it into the top corner of the net. So he had no chance of saving either of those two goals. And then, of course, Taylor Hall scored on an empty net, and Logan Couture scored or Lawson Krause, excuse me. I don't know where I got Logan Couture from. Lawson Krause scored on an empty net, who also had a good game for the Coyotes, blocking a bunch of shots. He's a player that's scrappy, a great player for the playoffs. But the Avs, I mean, in order to come back, they just have to keep playing their game. You could see they were getting frustrated. Kemper was in some kind of zone, but it's not like they played an off game at all. They played a great game. They just lost. The Coyotes obviously need to up the ante more, and they're probably going to talk about that in their presser and everything, but they got to up the ante more next game and do more in order to get going, obviously, because you don't want your goalie to have to make 49 saves every game. But for them, obviously, like, it probably was Kemper, really for the 3 stars of this game for the team, because I always do the stars for the team that won. But because of how much I love him as a player and called for him stepping up and thought he would this postseason, I am going to shout out Clayton Keller. I mean, this guy was a high draft pick. He's starting to actually show it again rather than just in his rookie year there and then his second season. And I love this kid, and I like what he's starting to show a lot of speed on the ice. So is Taylor Hall. And just like they have the problem with JT Realmuto here in Philadelphia, sign him, Coyotes. For Coyotes fans, you definitely want to sign that man. You don't know what you're doing if you don't. So Taylor Hall, Clayton Keller, for the sake of giving 3 stars, and Darcy Kemper. But let's be honest, the 3 stars of today's game for the Coyotes were really Darcy Kemper, and Darcy Kemper. But Clayton Keller and Taylor Hall stepped up against. Derek Stefan is also having a good playoffs, which is not too surprising because he's a veteran player that normally looks solid on defense and helps in the locker room. He's great on the interviews when I watch all the post-game stuff and everything on NHL TV. But this has just been a quick reaction to the Yotes 4-2 win over the Colorado Avalanche to move the series within 2 games to 1. This is a very fun series to watch because of how electric the Avalanche team is and how good the Coyotes played in Game 2. They really responded, and they also had a great push in Game 3 at the beginning, and then all of a sudden it went back to just having Kemper face all these shots and having them win that way. So they need to play how they did at the beginning of Game 3 and then how they did for pretty much all of Game 2 and just ended up losing. And that's really what we need to see from this team if they want to win. If the Coyotes want to win, that's what you need to see from them. Now, if the Avs want to continue to push on and go up 3 games to 1, you really just need to see what they're doing. Like I said, keep playing your game and you just got to eventually get more traffic in front of the net. But that didn't even work that well against Kemper. If a guy's just in a zone, a guy's just in a zone. So the Avs just have to keep playing their game and hope that eventually they're able to get some in because they did apply traffic. But this was a very fun game to watch. Congratulations to the Coyotes for bringing it within 2-1. Way to go, Darcy Kemper, you freaking legend. Have a great and safe day, everybody. Peace out, everybody.